I'll give you my story of the journey of my faith. Tell you a little bit about how I met Christ. From the earliest days that I can remember, Jesus Christ was not a mystery to me. If you were to get a glimpse of the person that I was when I was 16, 17, 18 years old, you would never recognize that guy, because I was into drugs, I was into drink, I was all over the place.
I came up here as an extrovert. I was outgoing, I was partying, I wouldn't like to say that I was so big-headed, I was getting all the girls, but there was a lot of female attention, and I used to crave that emotional attention. And I don't know, I look at myself as sad, but that whole drug taking culture and going out, I thought that was a kind of life, that was it, that was as good as it get.
But at the same time, if you'd stopped me in my tracks and said, do you believe that Jesus is the Son of God, born of a virgin, died for your sins, rose from the dead, I would have said yes. That my belief hadn't changed. I hadn't chucked it all in.
When I started becoming a social recluse, when I started becoming introverted instead of extrovert, when I couldn't sleep, I was an insomniac, and when I started to feel so anxious that I felt sick just to go out then.
And probably about maybe 4 or 5 months into my first year at university, there was a guy who was part of just a small Christian group on campus.
I met this girl. Now the thing is, I always thought God was going to speak to me through a vision or a voice or something, but He actually used this relationship I had with a girl, not in a physical thing, just a friend, one of the only people who was there for me. And she gave me peace and contentment just to be with her. I was going through all this turmoil in my life, and just to be with her, it would bring me peace. And then she would talk about a relationship she was in, talk about God and Jesus, and I talked about Jesus. I didn't have that peace and contentment. I didn't have that relationship. Another guy outside the library, you might know him, his name's Paul James Griffith. He used to hand out Christian literature and used to serve people with cups of tea.
But what he showed me, and here's the crux of it, Ben. The thing that he showed me from the Bible was that God has taken it upon Himself to reveal Himself to us in the person of Christ. And He came into the world, and He lived a perfect life, and He died a sinner's death, taking the punishment for my sin. I recognized not only who Jesus was, but I recognized what I hadn't recognized before, maybe, which was who I was. I had understood all my life who Jesus was, but I hadn't really understood who I was.
It was Paul who chased me down the road. He gave me this leaflet, and it related me the difference between rules and regulations and going to church because I had to. The freedom of Christ.
The guy who had actually led me to Christ spent time with me. We would call it discipleship. Every morning he would come around before classes started. We'd get in the Word together. We'd pray together, and I did that for 4 years with this guy.
I gave my life at 12/15/2006 on the 26th of February. I've only just started living.
It's the most amazing thing in the world, just seeing the same thing happen again in the lives of other people.
If you don't go out and share that gift which is given you, it's like people would die. I would have taken my own life if those people hadn't impacted me when they did, and taken the time to share that love with me. I would have died.